My picture fell off the wall.
The guitar's about to fall.
All right, guys. Welcome to the show. That sounds serious enough?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, in the studio we got today ex-military, business owner, a musician, and now his new thing is politician with the Libertarian Party. Mr. Joe Novak. Hey, Joe. Yeah. We've been waiting for months to have you in, so I appreciate you finally coming in, man. I know you got a busy schedule. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, give them your background, and I mean, you don't have to give us all your background. I know the prison term was awful.
Yeah, just, I'm Joe.
Just Joe. Military.
Yeah, a couple years in the infantry.
Awesome.
The Cold War, literally Fort Wayne, Alaska.
All right, cool.
That was the Cold War.
Now, you were one of just like a few guys that actually got to go in an ice hole.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Ice mill, yeah, ice mill.
All right.
We were on Glacier training.
All right.
They taught you all the do's and don'ts.
Now, hold on a minute.
Before you ever went up on the glacier.
Okay, but you were into LERP? Is that what
Yes.
LERP. Explain what that is.
Long Range Patrol Reconnaissance Surveillance.
All right, cool.
But it was peacetime, so it was extreme camping. Yeah, it was all the cool stuff without being shot at. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, what about this? I always called it an ice hole.
Ice mill.
Ice mill.
Yeah, on the glacier, they in the summertime it's slightly warmer than freezing.
All right.
So the snow melts and it creates a river. I got to talk with my hands.
All right.
That's how a river goes.
Okay.
Down along the glacier, and it'll hit a rock or something. It'll start to swirl.
All right.
And it'll cut into the ice, and it'll cut all the way to the bottom.
Oh wow.
They go all the way down.
And
Well, they say
all the way down
maybe a couple thousand feet.
Who?
Yeah.
So you don't want to slip.
No. A crevasse is a crack from where the glacier moves along, because glaciers, it snows up a lot at the top and it just keeps pushing down, and so they flow between the mountains.
Oh, okay.
Or wherever, because there's different types of glaciers. But
All right.
and and as it moves, it'll crack. Like one side goes faster than the other, or it starts to go downhill and it speeds up and it bends and it cracks. An ice mill, a crevasse is like a couple hundred feet deep.
Wow.
But an ice mill is like 1,000 or 2. It goes all the way to the bottom.
All right.
So they first thing they told us was, if you ever see an ice mill, don't go down inside of it.
Okay.
So the first thing we did was we saw, hey, there's an ice mill. Let's go down inside it. So yeah, literally, we got our ropes and there we went, right down inside of it, But and there was a like a river, which it kind of cut a canyon into the glacier. So it was 20, 30 feet down.
Uh-huh.
Then there was the river flowing along the bottom of it, and it turned and went into the side of the bank, and then it just dropped straight off.
Wow.
So it was an ice mill in the side of a canyon.
Wow.
So we rappelled down into there, and of course it's a river flowing along ice, so it's really slick. It's wet. It's
Wow.
like 50, 60 degrees out, and so we walk along there, and we turned, and there was like a cave, and it went in probably 20 feet, and then it turned and went straight down.
Wow.
So we rappelled down into the canyon and walked along the edge of the river thing, and turned and walked in there, and like we stand real quiet, throw a rock, and you hear click, 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 and we never heard it hit the bottom.
Wow.
It just got quieter and quieter until you couldn't hear it anymore. We're like, oh.
Now it was just you and a few other guys
it
who
was
actually.
probably about 10 of us, 15 maybe.
And that's real odd that they would let you go down in that, or is that something that they...
Well, no, that's like I said, they said do not ever go down. And you know, like I said, it was really slick, and we're inside there, and there's the water flowing and going over the waterfall, and we're standing near the edge. It's like, one of us would have slipped. That'd have been it, you know.
Oh, wow.
And we weren't roped off or anything either at the time, you know, which... Because
Right.
normally when you go along the glacier, you, because ice mills, because crevasses, surely you've seen like what's called a cornice. It's on the
Surely
edge.
I have.
Yes, you have, yes. on a house where the wind blows over the roof.
Okay,
And
yeah.
it'll form a big...
And you got an
this-
edge.
Yeah, and,
All right.
and it kind of grows and grows and grows, hanging over the edge.
Yeah.
So it's like a snowdrift that like hangs on the side of something like
Yeah.
that, you know. Well, what happens is you get the crevasses and you get ice mills. I mean, you get the crevasses and you get the snow blows along and it forms cornices on the sides of the cracks. It's a
So
crack.
you can't see
Yeah,
them.
so the crack is probably at the top it's 20, 30 feet across maybe, and goes down like 200 feet.
Oh, wow. So you can't see them with these
No,
things
so
that
what
form
happens
over
is,
top.
during the winter time when it's snowing, you'll form cornices on the sides of the crevasses, and they will touch, and then they'll blow across and be completely flat across the top.
Wow.
So you'll be walking along and you won't even know that you're on top of it's an ice bridge is what it is. It's literally a snow bridge, but you
But
don't know it.
All of a sudden,
Until you go
somebody could
You right through it.
right
yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you train what to do when you fall in them, and see.
Scream?
Yeah.
If
But,
that's
yeah.
what you do, then
Yeah.
I'd be great.
So that's why. Gonna blow my nose. I'm allergic to dust.
Oh, you're fine. And we got
Anyway.
wet down here.
Anyway, so you never walk on the glacier alone.
You tied off to a
You
buddy?
tie off. Yeah, we had 120-foot ropes.
The fat guy walks ahead, or in back?
Well, we learned that lesson too. Did
you?
Did I tell you that one?
No.
Yes.
No, you guys got to remind me and Joe have been friends for over 20 years, I would say. So
Yeah.
all this, not everything we're going to talk about, we talked about before, but a lot of the stories that we'll talk about today is we've talked about before. And Joe's a real interesting character.
Yeah. I don't always drink beer, but when I do, and I need my product placement there. You know? I get my.
But anyway, you learned that lesson.
Yes.
Having the
so
fat guy
what
not in
happened?
front.
Yeah. What happened? And like I said, you when you have the 120-foot rope, you have one guy at each end and one in the middle. And sometimes you have a number that you either have 3 or 4 on a rope team.
Okay.
Never 2.
All right.
And never 1, of course.
Yeah.
You've fallen on the way on down, throwing your rope up. You know? So, and what we would do is you'd have 3 guys on a rope team, and we'd practice. We'd go up to a crevasse, a known crevasse.
All right.
And they'd turn you around with your back facing the crevasse, and they'd get up a little bit of slack. And the guy right there at the edge, the instructor would say, okay, jump.
Holy shit.
And you jump down into the crevasse.
Willingly.
And then when you're willingly, or he pushes you.
Oh, okay.
But,
So
yeah.
All right. 'Cause I
But
didn't push.
in my unit, they were a bunch of great guys.
Okay.
And I don't think nobody got pushed.
Really?
We all jumped, yeah.
You definitely have to push him off the cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
and when you're the second guy, you don't know what's happening. All of a
Your
sudden,
back's turned.
just twing, it just pulls you and you starts dragging you for the hole.
Wow.
And you have to spin around. You're carrying an ice axe and you have crampons on your feet.
Okay. Now, them are
So-
the spikes that you
Yes.
slip a rubber,
Yes.
like things.
Well,
that
you
go
tie them
through.
onto your shoe, and there's like 6 of them that stick down, 6 or 8, and then there's 2 that stick out the toe.
Okay.
And those are for like climbing up.
Kicking in.
Yeah, climbing up a cliff, which you need to get out of the crevasse.
Oh, okay. All right.
So what happens is, and we practiced this we put on rain suits,
Okay.
and then we went up a big hill with snow, and you'd face first on your back, turned around the other way. But whatever direction you're going down the hill, you had to spin around and flip onto your stomach and stick your ice axe in.
Okay.
And stop. And you had to do it as quick as you could because you didn't want to go down in the hole with the guy. You know?
All right.
So we practiced that. So now you're standing there with your back to the hole.
So now it's go time.
All of a sudden, yank! It just pulls you and you start sliding backwards for the crevasse. And you had to spin around, and the guy in the center and the guy that was farthest from the crevasse had to stick his ice axe into the ice and stop. And once you're stopped, the guy on the end gets up and he comes back and he drives an ice screw into the ice.
All
And
right.
you just keep turning it and it screws down into the ice. And then you tie the rope off. And then the guy hanging over the edge there is secure. And then he climbs out.
Okay.
That's what you use your
The
crampons sticking out your toes. You stick like that and you use your ice axe and you climb out that way.
All right. Crampons.
Right.
All right, not croutons.
No, not croutons. Yeah, they're less effective. On crunch. But the good thing is, like, you leave a trail of crumbs so you can find your way back.
He
You
went
know?
down there.
So yeah, so we did that, and we practiced that and practiced. And you were each guy. You were the guy in the middle, the guy in the front, the guy that goes off the cliff. You know. And after we got good at that, then we're out on the glacier, and we're walking along. And all of a sudden, whoop, I'm the lead guy, and I'm the lightest on the team. And the rope jerks me back, and I'm like, what? And I turn around and I look, and there's the fat guy you're talking about.
Me.
He's literally up to his armpits in snow.
Oh, wow.
And I'm looking at him like, wow. And he goes, anyway, the fat guy
Yeah, he's swinging his
punched
feet.
through, he's up to his armpits, and he says, I'm swinging my feet right now.
Oh, my
And we're like,
God.
crap, we didn't practice this one. You know, we tie off from both sides, you know.
So
Yeah, so and that's learning the hard way that the fat guy goes first, you know.
that way he falls in.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something.
So we had to form a big V because it's like he couldn't get out. He was up to his armpits. How do you get out of that like that? You know, if you're hanging by your armpits.
And you're talking snow and ice.
Yeah.
It's not like you can,
right.
grasp anything.
And I don't know how thick the snow and ice was. Was it a foot, 2 feet? You know,
You
3
don't dare
feet?
walk back and try to pick him up.
So what we had to do was I went that way and he went, and my other partner went that way, and we made a V and pulled, and he just kind of wiggled, and we just kept having to pull him till he got out on his belly, and then he slid
Oh, yeah.
back, and they're like, okay, now you got to come this way. And I'm like, oh, because I know, I know
where it
I'm
is.
walking over an ice bridge.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I just slightly walk, and I thought I was thinking, should I like lay down and slide? You know, like, no, I'm gonna be cool about this, you know.
The guys are watching.
Yeah. So, right, yeah, the guys are watching. I gotta look good
If I
for
die,
my
I'm
buddies.
gonna look cool.
Yeah. I gotta look good for my buddies. Yeah. So I walked.
Oh, shit,
and
Joe fell.
And I walked
but
all
you
the
see
way.
how good he looks.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Uh,
So and we got back across, and then we're like, okay, big guy, you in the front. And we picked another route because we knew there was a crevasse there, but we didn't know where it.
I find the fat guy always ends up getting fucked somehow. Yeah.
So you understand I'm gonna have to gain some weight?
No, it don't help at all.
Oh, that's just fucked in a different way.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, Joe, we'll be right back.
Okay.
And I want to move on to what's going on today, news that came out today, and just other stuff I want to pick your brain on. So we'll be right back.
Part of the libertarian movement, or what?
Party.
What is that? Party.
Yes.
Party movement.
It's a party.
It's
It's
not
a party movement.
It's
Yes.
a party
That's,
movement.
you know, not to be confused like a bowel movement. But
Well, I find that people and
no, it's a party. It was formed back in 1971.
when Nixon took us off the gold standard, basically.
All right.
It was like, well, okay, our money was crap before.
So let's make it
Because of-
crappier.
Because of the, the fractional reserve banking.
Yep.
But they couldn't inflate it enough because it was tied to gold, so they had to take it off gold and
All right.
make it monopoly
We're
money.
gonna get
Okay,
into
yes,
that. We're gonna
yes,
get into
yes.
that. I promise. I promise. But let's go back to the Libertarian Party. Now I think a lot of people are I didn't really understand. I thought there was like a thin line between libertarian and total anarchy. I believe people think that. I mean,
It's amazing what people think. And you know what's amazing? Because I remember the first time I heard a libertarian, I remember seeing them on the ballot. And I'm like, what are those guys?
Yeah.
You know?
Me too.
And I asked somebody, what's a libertarian? They go, those are the crazy people.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. I'll not pay attention then.
Crazy.
You know? But then, because I suppose I started out as a Democrat.
Well, I know you did.
Yeah, well, yeah. And from being around Democrats, I became a Republican. From being around Republicans, I became a Libertarian. I've got nowhere else to go. I'm at the bottom. But, so I found out, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, I wish there was a party that believed this and this and this, and, Republicans believe this, I do too. Democrats believe this, I do too. And he goes, "You're a libertarian." I'm like, "What? I'm one of those crazy people."
Okay. My thing is, where do people get the idea? I believe there. I believe there. I don't know. I don't know if it's people just don't want it, willingly ignorant, or they just believe what they hear, like the crazy people. But and now anarchy to me is just do what you want.
See, that's what I always thought anarchy was too. I always thought survival of the fittest,
No, for people that are listening, anarchy is real.
Yes,
it's real.
Yes.
I remember in the early '80s that was a big thing with punk rock and anarchy.
Right. But then that was a misrepresentation. That was you were cool because you were anarchist or whatever. And it, people think of like a Mad Max. You're driving this bizarre vehicle, carrying a sword and wearing leather. And
yeah, and I've seen you.
And that's a different video. Yeah, it's a completely different video. So
we can bring it up.
No, I was gonna say it took me a long time to get that one down off the internet. You can't find it anymore. Yeah.
But explain, like libertarian. Explain.
Anarchy pretty much means not government. You can still have groups of people that like form a corporation together, or even with people believe that in the beginning of this country, you didn't have judges everywhere. So a lot of stuff was done by arbitrators.
Yep.
Look, okay, we have a dispute. I think you should go this way. You think you should go that way. Let's go to somebody that
third party
right.
who has no dog in the fight.
And we sign a paper saying, okay, we can't come to an agreement. I'll agree to whatever his decision is, and you too.
Yep.
Yep. I don't know what happens when somebody don't, because then that's a legal matter. You sign a paper saying you would agree.
Then you do a
when you went into
thing, I believe.
Yeah, something similar to that. Yeah.
For those that don't know, they got into a gun duel and
yeah.
Don't end up.
Wasn't it Hamilton though?
Oh yeah, Hamilton. Yes, it was.
Well, that was when
I get them confused.
Yeah, it was when Burr went ahead in a time machine and shot Jackson. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for pointing out my ignorance.
No problem. It's fun.
Jackass.
Yeah, it's Jackson. Yeah.
But you understand, because me and you have talked many a times.
Yeah.
And people that know me know I'm conservative. Always been conservative, even though I look like a Democrat. If you could put a look on it. Always had conservative ideas. And I don't line up with everything that a conservative would say, but after you became a libertarian, we got talking, and I hate calling myself a Republican because I'm not a Republican.
Yeah.
But the way I look at things line up more with the Republican base. But then I always get around you and go, well, you're a libertarian.
Right.
Every time you tell me you're a libertarian.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, because them are the crazy people, and I
Right, yes. That's what caused me to lose my hair. That foil hat rubbed it all off, you know.
But you understand my point
Yes,
is that
yes.
because we're ignorant, and you know me, I know you, I know that neither one of us are willingly ignorant of anything. If we want to find, we find
Oh,
out.
right, exactly.
And-
Ignorance is a choice.
Oh, and especially, and I was just talking to my kids this morning or yesterday about in today's day and age, with all these search engines we have, if you have a question and it remains a question, you're the lazy
Right,
one.
yeah.
There's nothing around it, because back in my day, you had to read.
I know. When I was a kid, things would bug me, and I would go seek it out. Because I have to know.
My kids call it the library. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. I remember one time, it was back in high school. Some kids were...
A long time ago.
Yeah, back in the Stone Age.
Yes.
They said, it was a couple friends of mine were like trying to figure something out. And they're like, I don't know. Somebody said, well, let's ask Joe. He probably won't know, but he will find out. And it'll bug me until I know. So
I find that people like you and myself, and we know other people like that will go to people like us to, and not that we're brilliant, because we didn't come up with this stuff. We just are willing to read.
Right.
I mean, this ain't what we made up. Somebody else did the work.
Right.
We're just reading what they did, and we just either we retain it or we'll look it up for them. And even today, people will come up to me, I don't know about you, and ask you a question, and you're like,
oh yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay, right here.
I can't let this. Or or somebody will, back and forth. They'll argue about something. I said, well, it takes a second. It'll.
Yeah, your son did that to me this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about apes and monkeys. And my son and I were arguing, and your son just looked it up and said, well, they're apes, because I said apes weren't monkeys.
Yeah.
But I guess they're classified with monkeys. But they're not monkeys, because they say you can identify a monkey by the tail.
They'll rip your dick off, though.
Yeah.
They're in the same family.
Either way.
Is that what happened?
All right. Back to goddamn libertarians.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but they're real now. They're not playing around no more. I mean, they're getting big. I mean, you hear about them all the time. I mean, it wasn't at one point.
We're talking about monkeys?
No. Apes. No.
Oh, apes. Oh.
No, the Libertarian Party.
Yes.
They're
the fastest growing party in the country.
And I don't know. And you said something to me. We were talking last night. We were talking about doing the interview and everything. And I said, I think people are just tired of not being represented. And you said something real interesting to me after I said that. What did you say to me? It was, I believe they want to represent themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And that really...
and it was like a...
That really shook me, because it was like, you know what? Yeah, maybe I need to represent myself.
Right.
Why am I relying on this millionaire to represent me, who don't even know what my day-to-day life is like?
Right. Who wasn't a millionaire until he became a politician.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not sitting here representing I'm not representing any party. I don't want to even get into that on this, on our videos, that I'm part of a certain party, because I'm not. It was
like the Libertarian Party Laporte just put a post up on their Facebook page. It was something about stop calling them leaders. They're representatives.
Yep.
They're not leaders. And I brought up a point that Thomas Jefferson said, that the government is our servant, not our master.
Yep.
Well, it's supposed to be. They're our master now.
Oh, most definitely. I don't think,
I mean, you carry too much cash in your pocket, and you find out,
Oh, yeah.
throw, a bucket of, cash in your front seat and get pulled over. See how fast they take it, or the wrong plant growing in your backyard. I mean.
And that's another thing that the libertarians really are. I mean, and they act like this is the only platform they have is, oh, all drugs should be legal. That's what these crazies believe. And I know, Joe. And the thing is I want everybody to think in their own head. All right.
As opposed to anywhere else they would think.
Yeah. Smart ass, man. I love it. First guest. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No,
here on the Mike Fisher Home Shopping Network garage sale show here.
7-Up, no upper 10.
Yes.
We were talking about the drugs and legalizing. Woo, party. Legalizing all the drugs. Now, you have to be asinine to believe, and I believe politicians believe this. I don't know if they believe it or not. If they legalized heroin today, I wouldn't go out and buy heroin and use it.
Right. The people.
If you want heroin, you can get it right now at a cheaper price than if they legalized it.
Actually, there's evidence of that. If you look at Portugal, in 2001, Portugal legalized all drugs. 2001. That's 18 years ago. So that's a lot of history there, a lot of evidence.
Oh yeah.
Every category of drug use went down.
That's amazing.
And the
Do you think
ODs.
it's just some part of this anarchy thing where they're, oh, look at me, I'm a...
Well, part of it as well is...
the prices go up?
No. The prices go down, in fact.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. But the other thing is...
I want to point out something first, that Joe and I both live in LaPorte County, Indiana. All right, it's a real happening place. It's a great place to raise your kids, it's a quiet town, it's a flyover state, but there ain't no other place I'd rather be than right here. But we're close enough to Chicago that, I mean, you get in the car in a few minutes, you're there. I mean, it's not like we're just out in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, go ahead. Because in LaPorte, heroin overdoses is I mean, it is bad.
I was talking to someone a couple nights ago. She come up here from Florida. And I'm like, what? She was from here. I'm like, what brought you back here from Florida? Her younger brother died.
Oh, okay. It's terrible.
Heroin.
Wow. Up here.
Yeah, right in LaPorte.
And it's gotten to an epidemic, I think, here in just LaPorte County. I mean, it's terrible.
Well, part of it is, too, that...
Cough right into the microphone.
we shouldn't have burned that on the break there.
No drug use here.
Liberty stick, But, if it's illegal and you're using it and you're going to your dealer and stuff like that, I think it becomes hard to seek out help. You go, hey, I'm a heroin user. It's like, oh, it's illegal.
Yeah.
But it's like it'd be like trying to get off of alcohol. You go to meetings, you go to AA meetings or whatever. You can go to a doctor. You can.
But I don't think there's that
stigma
to alcoholism as there is to a heroin addiction. I mean, right. I've known people that, and I know you have too, that are addicted to drugs, and it's a sad. It's a sadness. I really, whether or not they got themselves into that mess, they're in that mess.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I believe we should do all we can do to help them. But first, the person has to want it themselves. I mean, it's just like anything else. It's like saying, I'm held down in the United States, I can't be successful.
And you know,
that's not true. You got to
Yeah.
want to be successful, and you can do it.
the thing that gets me is that, you know, the people that are we need to ban drugs, we need to control them, we need to go after all the people that have them, people that sell them. You know, it's like they're going to ruin their life if they take that drug. So what we need to do is take them and lock them in a cage
Yeah.
so they don't it's like you know, and so now
ruin their
now
life.
we gotta feed their wife and their kids, and of
They
course
grow-
to get that money we have to take it from all the public.
Yeah.
We gotta pay for him to live in that cage so he don't hurt himself.
And then we deal with a,
Good thing we didn't destroy his life.
yeah, or
You know,
his
yeah.
child,
Right.
or his wives, or,
Yeah.
you know, and you notice that it's targeted towards the inner city population. And I think, and I don't want to get off topic because we're going to get into this too, but I think that has a lot to do with the race. I'm getting tired of hearing it, that no matter if you disagree with somebody, you're a racist.
Yeah.
If you have a different idea than somebody else, you're a racist. It's just, I mean, how do you argue that? I mean, how do you argue against, I mean,
Yeah.
they say it's out there. Once you say it, it's out there. I mean, you can't take that, I'm not a racist, I have a black daughter. I know you're not, I mean, you've rented you have apartments you rent,
Yeah,
you rent
yeah.
to. And I remember a story you told me about, a guy who owned buildings that you own now, and how you don't want to rent to the blackies over here. And
No, I was like, he seemed like in a big hurry to get rid of it, and he was like, I'm like, I don't know what. He just seemed, you know, after we sold it, and he was like, here's the thing, Joe. Those people in them apartments, they're in lovers. I'm like, oh.
So racism still is.
And you know, what surprised me though that I ran into a couple black people, and the neighbors came to me and said pretty much, we don't like who you're renting to. I'm like, what? You know, and they were like all getting together and like they're gonna try and do something to get them out of there, and I'm like, I didn't understand it, you know.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, well, so like, well, you know, and they mentioned, but they didn't say the
Yeah.
color of the people.
Yeah.
They kind of made it clear, and they brought the point up that we don't want our property values to go down and stuff. I'm like, what? You are causing a property value to go down by creating a big deal about it.
Yep.
You know, and the one guy behind me, he was from some. I don't know, Serbia or something like that, came over here, a real strong accent. He was, and he's like, you know what? He said, I don't care. He says, they came right out and told me what their problem was.
Really?
And he says, I don't care. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, you know, because he came from Serbia,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the people that are complaining have lived in the United States
Yeah.
and had it really good.
Yeah.
And that's something I want to get into you with, but I want to go back to the Libertarian Party. You held a position there for a while. You still do within the party.
For a while, I was the secretary of the LaPorte County Libertarian. Right now, I'm the treasurer of the LaPorte County Libertarian Party.
All right.
I was the second congressional representative to the state central committee meeting.
That sounds impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, well, as far as Libertarian, who are people that we might know that maybe were Libertarian at one time, and because they felt like they didn't have a chance?
Is that the secret society?
Is it? The
Yeah.
Illuminati. Was it Ron Paul at one time?
Yeah.
Libertarian?
He ran as he was a presidential candidate as a libertarian.
Was he? I
Yeah,
thought
he
he
was.
was.
He's
with the
Republican.
Republican?
He is Republican, but he ran as a libertarian for
Really?
president. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know a lot. He had a big following.
Still does.
And
Still does.
he's retired now, right?
Yeah.
And how does he have a big following still?
What's that?
How does he have a big following still? If he's retired out of politics.
He still does, but I heard, if I remember correctly, that he was going to run for president 2020,
Really?
something like that. So that's if I'm not mistaken. If we had somebody who could look that up or something, it'd be.
Yeah. Is he? Can we see if Ron Paul's running for
President?
president in 2020? Let's look it up here. This is our.
You gonna tell him what Trump did?
No, don't show up Asian porn.
Again, that's a different video. Yeah.
But I mean,
Tell him what Trump did.
President 2020. Look that up.
Are you gonna tell him what Trump did?
Yeah, we're gonna get into that here in a minute.
But you've heard of some of the other well-known libertarians like, well, you've heard of Gary Johnson. He ran last time.
Yeah, but
John McAfee.
John. Oh, wow.
He's running for president from a boat out in international waters. I am not joking. He's running on tax issues, and literally he is running a campaign.
This guy
He's running from running a campaign from boat in international waters.
Is this guy? Have you heard all this story about him? I mean, I don't know if you saw a Netflix special, but what is it? Gringo? Is that what it's called?
He's a smart man.
A brilliant man.
Yeah, very smart man.
But, ooh, I think isn't it weird how a lot of brilliant people go ape shit crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, really, I mean,
Yeah.
do you believe this story?
Which story?
Where the government, he went and did something for another government. I'm not sure which one it was.
Would I believe a story that a government would frame somebody?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Washington Examiner, is this better than the Post? I don't think this has anything to do with, just, is Ron Paul running for president in 2020?
This computer sucks.
Not the skinny pill. This is falling off the rails here.
This computer ain't working.
The computer is not working. But you believe that he is running. Okay, close that
Yeah,
down.
I get it.
You believe he is.
What the hell?
I thought I saw something. that
Now, Rand
said-
Paul, he's just straight Republican.
I was gonna say I don't know if he's straight or not, but
I mean, he just,
he is. He's libertarian though too.
is he?
Yeah.
He's a little bit more liberal than Dad, right?
Yeah. When the Libertarian Party had hired a guy here in Indiana, a marketer. How do we market ourselves to people?
Okay.
Because they all think we're the crazy people that they saw on the ballot,
I think that attracts some people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a small following, but So what he said, and he said, no. To tell you the truth, he says I'm not a libertarian. He said, but he was figuring out how do we market ourselves.
All right.
And he said so. He looked into libertarian, and he said, he goes, you guys are the most well informed and the most honest. And he said, you either have to convince people that you know what you're talking about, or do what everybody else does, lie, and then when you get elected, do what's right.
Okay. So you hired a guy to tell you to lie.
And that's what I felt.
Because
you cannot win office without lying.
Oh.
So and specifically, somebody will tell this group of people one thing and tell another group something exactly the opposite. Of course, everybody believes that, they were telling me the truth, though.
Yeah.
Because that's what you want to hear.
How astonished are you by the ignorance of the American people? No, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, when you look back into history, everyone, the poor, the rich, politics was the topic at hand all the time.
The thing of it is, too, is like there's so much to keep yourself occupied now. 1984, George Orwell.
Yep.
What is it? Movies, football, and
Sports.
especially beer,
Yep.
fill the horizons of their minds so they're easy to control.
Yeah.
So-
I believe this. So do you think that's and I don't want to get off
You know,
into
it's
to tinfoil hat where I don't want people to think we're nuts, but do you think that's what a lot of them use to
Well,
to,
you know,
to
and-
take
and
your
the
mind
fact
to
that- and the-
stop worrying about what's going on over
and the
here,
fact
look
that
over
just
here.
plain yeah, I've no doubt about that, but is something shiny. Ooh, there's a sex scandal. Ooh, you know, it's like
Yeah.
they're stealing millions of dollars from you, but there's something shiny over there. You know, it's you mean if they turn around, you know, it's and that's the public. Ooh, something shiny. You know,
But even, you know, people say we're a two-party system.
we are. And you know, the
we
interesting
are.
thing is, did you ever
So,
read?
so my
Did you ever
question
read
is,
George
Joe,
Washington's farewell address? His biggest
I know-
fear,
I know that I have, but I don't remember.
his biggest fear was that we would become a two-party system.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that you know it was. I think it was kind of by design, you know, but it certainly has helped along the way. I was just reading that the Republican national, the state Republican chairman in Texas is he has some bill to take the libertarians off of the ballot
Really?
rather than compete.
Well,
Well, we'll just take the competition out. You know, I mean, that's
competition's a sin, ain't it?
yeah, that's it. Well, yeah, that was a statement too. Who said that?
I believe it was Rothschild or
yeah.
Rockefeller.
Yeah,
Rockefeller.
yeah.
Old man Rockefeller.
Competition's a sin.
Yep.
If you collude with your competition, then that becomes a cartel.
Or
Yeah.
monopoly.
Yeah, You know,
It's funny how the laws are enforced on us as a people, but not on these parties. You know, if you own a corporation and you break the law, Joe's going to go to jail. But as a party, it's when you make the law for yourself,
Mhm.
it don't apply to you, but it
and
applies
you, in fact, you specifically put in there that
it does
doesn't
not
apply to you. It's
apply
like,
to you.
uh,
Insider trading.
say you cannot file bankruptcy on a student loan unless you are the child of a
Politician.
politician. And specifically, you know, Senate and the House.
So
Congress.
basically, you cannot
if you're a congressperson's, I
you
believe
cannot file bankruptcy on a student loan unless you have the money to pay for the student
yes,
loan.
yes,
Is-
that you got from the lobbyists and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And you know, I laugh at that and we giggle about it, but that's real.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but what else
and,
do
and
we
you were
do,
talking
Joe?
about
What-
the ignorance of the American public. I doubt most people don't know that.
Would they care?
Yeah. What would you?
Would they care?
What would you do about it? They do what they want to, so you can't.
But is all lost? That's my question to you. Is all lost in the United States? Can we ever be what we were, or what we were supposed to be? Can we ever be that again?
It's possible, but the swamp is deep.
And okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go here now. What do you think, as far as Trump and what he's doing in Washington? Do you think he's draining the swamp, or do you think he's brought more into the swamp?
I believe, like I said before about you can't get in unless you lie. I hope a few of the things he said were lies. Except, and I believe that
No,
he
no,
has.
I know.
Well, I believe he has to play the game so he can drain the swamp.
I
And
know
I believe
you-
I believe he will.
I know
I believe
you're a
he's trying.
libertarian.
Hmm.
I know he ran as a Republican. I know he was a lifelong Democrat.
Mhm.
I know all these things. I know not everything he's going to say you're going to line up with. I know the wall thing. You and me have went round and round
Yeah,
and round
yeah.
about this, which we're going to today. We're going to get
Did
into
you
that.
did you bring boxing gloves?
But
Yeah.
what do you think about the job he's doing? Honestly. As a libertarian looking in at a Republican, what do you think I do not see what he's done. First of all, this racist thing, we're not, let's not even get into that right now. Because I just, everybody's a racist. I mean, they call Ben Shapiro a Nazi.
Yeah.
He's a Jew.
You know,
How can you call Ben Shapiro a Nazi?
Yeah,
He's a damn Jew. Are you people stupid?
Again, back to ignorance.
And
They don't know what the word means then.
No,
You know?
they don't understand.
Yeah.
He's Hitler. Are you serious?
You
Ben
know,
Shapiro is Hitler.
There's a guy. I can't remember his name. He runs a radio show, and he's a big conservative, big Republican.
Rush?
No. He I can't remember his name, but one of his guests was arguing and called him a racist. Well, if you were black, you would know. It's like, I am black. Oh. You know, it's like, because this is radio, you can't see, but yeah. You know.
They want that division.
Yeah.
Where you and I, we don't want that division. We don't care. People are people to us. We, I think it even goes back to what Martin Luther King said. I don't judge people by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. I mean, if you want to be willingly ignorant, then I'm going to call you stupid. And I don't use that very often. But what do you call somebody who's willingly ignorant?
Yeah.
If you're willing to be ignorant, then you're stupid, especially in today's age.
You remember that? You remember that Siskel and Ebert?
I remember
They
Siskel
were
and
the
the movie critics.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody I don't remember. It was I think it was Ebert. Yeah. But I can get the two backwards, but
Siskel was the skinny one.
he gave
Ebert was the fat.
the short fat
Guy who died of
yeah.
cancer.
That's the guy.
Okay.
And he gave a thumbs down to some movie with blacks and stuff, and some black person went off on him, and he's like, you're racist. You only don't want to watch that because you don't want that movie because it's black. And he goes, my wife is black.
That's what I used to do. I worked
Yeah.
in Gary, Indiana for a while, and I had people call me racist. I'm like, my daughter's black.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you throw the word out there,
and it means nothing.
So, it doesn't anymore. Unfortunately.
It don't. And that's the thing is that they want to.
I think it's a synonym for you don't agree with me.
Exactly.
You know.
And the last I checked, the only way we grow as individuals and as a country is communication, is the thoughts and ideas, being willing to sit down and communicate. Me and you don't agree on everything. We agree on a lot.
Yeah.
But
we also grow by following the government's eating guidelines.
Yes,
You know,
we do.
yeah.
We do change.
Yeah.
I have not been following the government.
Yeah.
A box of graham crackers and frosting for a bedtime snack is not the government guides. But back to Trump. We're going to get rid. We're not even going to talk about the racist stuff. 'Cause
Right.
I've never heard it. I've watched all the clips. I like
the picture of him receiving the Statue of Liberty Award right next to Rosa Parks and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, that's sweet, ain't it?
For his work with inner city youth.
Yep. Racist.
Yeah.
What a pig. Do I agree with everything Trump says? No, I don't. I mean, I relate to Republicans probably more than you do. And I said, I think he's an arrogant prick. Just his demeanor. And to my surprise, you said, I don't.
No.
I was like, what the hell? I thought we were going to agree on that.
No.
I felt like the asshole going, oh shit. You know, but the thing is, my question, after all this bullshit, because we have to get through this racism thing that don't mean anything. It is out there. We just talked about that. I mean,
It's not systemic.
yes.
You know, I thought of the guy's name that had the radio show, the black
Okay.
guy, Larry Elder.
Okay.
And who was the one guy that used to be on the Sank Younger show?
I don't know.
But he was on there, and he was a big-time liberal, and he would, argue with the Republicans and stuff. And after a while, he went to the other side.
Really?
Yeah. And he says what got him was, he would, you see, like even now, you try to look up, he'll try to, because he's a Republican now, he's conservative, so he'll try to do interviews with some of the left people, and they won't, they just, or they yell, and
They don't want to give him a platform now, right?
He'll do campus talks and stuff, and they'll just stand up and chant stuff until
He walks up.
yeah. He said what really won him over was, and he said Larry Elder. I think it was Larry Elder. He was interviewing him. He had no problem at all talking, and he said the guy just destroyed me. And I was watching parts of the interview, was like.
Because he wasn't used to debating.
He just beat me with fact over fact over fact over fact, and it was like,
But if you yell over facts,
yeah,
you don't need a point. But we're
Yeah.
going way off the rail.
Right.
Hold on, let's pull it back. What has Trump done wrong? What has he done wrong?
build a wall.
All right. Okay. Other than the wall,
Okay,
which we're going to get into,
yeah.
what has he done wrong? What aspect
He
ain't better? Okay.
banned bump stocks. Let me keep going.
Can we both agree that you don't need a bump stock to bump fire?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You do not. You need a belt
Absolutely.
loop or a steady thumb.
And you know the thing of it is too is like I think in where like
I don't want to teach people how to do it, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it, but you don't need a bump fire stock. to
I
bump
got a
fire.
good meme of a bump stock.
It's Nancy Pelosi's head.
Yeah. But like where it was at New Jersey, they banned bump stocks even before the federal ban and stuff.
Yeah.
0 people turned them in.
What are you gonna go do
Yeah,
it?
no, hey.
But what aspect isn't better? Are people making more money now?
That's relative.
Okay. Is there less?
The reason I say that is because it's statistics.
Okay.
You can manipulate numbers.
All right. Is true or false? Is there more black people working than there was under Obama?
That's relative too.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Well, you know the interesting
The
is
true politician.
No.
The true politician's response to everything.
Well, the reason I say that is because, and I learned this long ago, when they would put out we added 200,000 jobs this month, and on about the jobs and this and that, and then right at the end of the little news clip, and last March we downgraded our numbers.
Okay.
If you add 1 million jobs a month forever, you will have more jobs than you have in the country.
Is he taking steps to better the country?
Yes. Yes.
Do you feel more comfortable with Trump than what you thought you would feel comfortable with Trump?
I was up and down at the time. When he first announced, I'm like,
I
woo.
think we all were up and down.
Yes. Yes.
I think
And again, that's a different video.
but I think when he won the nomination, everybody was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh yeah.
he won."
Yeah, you see that video?
Are you fucking kidding me? The guy actually did it.
Yeah.
Because I was a Ted Cruz guy. So I mean, again, I don't know the Libertarian Party. I'm sure if I got into it, I would have a guy. But never.
I was a Ted Cruz guy too.
Were you a Ted Cruz guy too?
Yeah.
At the time, I was a Ted guy. I was Ted Cruz, man. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
I do not think Ted Cruz would have done the job that Trump's done.
No.
I just don't think he has the backbone that Trump does. Do you think it has anything to do with the backbone and not caring?
Part of it. You know one thing
I know you want to say something, so say it.
You know one thing I think that Trump has done for the country is at one point kind of people looked at the president as like a god. He's destroyed that.
Yes.
The president is not a god. He's certainly human. There's no doubt about that anymore, you know.
Do you think he made the presidency more human?
You see your batteries flashing? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You think he made it more, for the kids today, more achievable by looking at Trump?
Yeah, a lot of them say, he can do it. Hey.
And that's true,
No,
I think.
I don't really think anybody can be president.
No, I've never told my kids you can
Yeah.
be president. I
Yeah.
also told them they probably couldn't be astronauts neither.
Yeah.
Good thing.
You got to be realistic.
Yep. One guy out of how many?
All of them.
All the guys. And women.
There's only one that's president.
Only one.
Yeah.
Only one guy can be president
Yeah.
at a time. So we'll be right back. We gotta change the battery in the clock. So
You know, you really don't have to say we'll be right back because when you edit that out.
thanks for being a cocksucker.
Yeah.
All right. Back to Trump. I don't know if you heard it today, but man, it is hilarious to me. You said you didn't hear.
Here, let me
it.
look it up.
I'm sure you already know.
What do I
this.
look up?
What?
What do I look up? Show them the video.
Well, let's not look it up. I was watching. Did you watch Hannity last night or Tucker? So, what happened is President Trump is now going to take thousands of. He's contemplating. Let's say this. This is what he's put on the table for him.
You keep contemplating, you can go blind.
Oh yes. These illegal aliens that are coming in the country. What we're going to do is we're going to get them in a bus, and we're going to drop them off in San Francisco, and we're going to drop them off in New York City, and there you go.
Really?
Yeah, here you go. You take care of them then. You know what the Democrats are saying now? Well, there's processes.
Yeah.
There's processes we have to go through.
Oh, really?
Hold on a minute. And I'm like, damn.
Well, you know, sometimes giving somebody what they want.
Oh my.
Yeah.
You know, and
You know, I see that as like you're having a tug of war, and you just let go of the rope.
and he
You know?
just said, you know what? You want them? You can have them. Here you go. And we have ungodly amounts that you can have.
Here.
And we're gonna bring them to you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're claiming fair use here. Go ahead and play. Who has said that we're all immigrants? We're not. We're talking about illegal immigrants, correct? I mean, I know me and you were going to argue about this, but we are all immigrants, correct? Other than the
Natives, but
indigenous people of.
But we killed most of them off.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about that. But what you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I
no
do.
one is saying that immigrants aren't an important.
Yeah, if you take the fraction of the population that are native, we're all immigrants. Yeah.
So, I've never heard anybody say they're not an important part of the fabric of the United States. I've never heard that. Have you?
No.
Okay, so what in the hell is she talking about?
I think Elizabeth Warren is not an immigrant. Her family.
No, she is indigenous of
Yeah.
the United States. Go ahead.
Here in Oakland, they're welcoming. In fact, the whole state is welcoming. In his inaugural address this spring, the incoming governor of California, Gavin Newsom, echoed those words, Everyone can come to California, he said. Absolutely everyone.
Let us build a house stronger than the coming storms, yet open to the world. A house that provides shelter to all who need it and sanctuary to all who seek it. We will not have one house for the rich and one for the poor, or one for the native born and one for the rest.
So the left really couldn't be clearer on this question. All immigration is good. More immigration is better. There is no distinction between legal and illegal varieties of immigration. And if you disagree with any of this, you are a white nationalist. That's what they've said almost every day for the past 2 years. We've watched carefully, and so have you. And now here, completely out of the blue, comes the man they despise most in the world, Donald J. Trump, offering them the one thing they want more than anything: more immigrants, immediately, delivered right to their door at federal expense. Well, it must have been like Christmas morning. You think you're getting another pair of socks, and yet there it is, a pony, tethered to your mailbox. Amazing. Best day of your life.
Yeah.
But that's not how they responded. The left wasn't happy about Trump's offer. They were shocked, and they were completely enraged. You know what this is, they said? It's dumping. Dumping, like what you do with garbage or used truck tires in the woods. The headline of Mother Jones read, "Donald Trump wants to dump asylum seekers on the streets of American cities, democratic cities. Busing people," wrote the Washington Post's Greg Miller, "to dump them in cities, just to punish political rivals." In the view of Harry Siegel at the Daily Beast, quote, "The White House wanted to dump refugees in sanctuary cities." Siegel called that idea nasty. At the same time, almost simultaneously, as if in concert, in fact, both CNN and MSNBC ran headlines accusing the White House of wanting to dump immigrants into cities. So what's the message the left is sending us? That immigrants are trash? Something you drop off as a cruel prank, like a flaming bag of dog waste? If you wanted to defile someone's pristine city, you'd, quote, dump immigrants on it? Whoa, that sounds a little, searching for the word here, racist. A lot racist, actually, but Nancy Pelosi agrees with it, it turns out. She lives in one of these cities that might be dumped on, so she immediately issued a statement decrying it. Quote, "The extent of this administration's cynicism and cruelty cannot be overstated. Using human beings, including little children, as pawns in their warped game to perpetuate fear and demonize immigrants is despicable." But wait a second, this is getting really confusing. It doesn't seem to make sense. How can the presence of immigrants, quote, perpetuate fear? Immigrants aren't dangerous. They've told us that 1,000 times. They're safer than you are. They're amazing, much more amazing than you are. Pelosi says that a lot. So why is it bad that Trump wants to send more immigrants to San Francisco? San Francisco is a sanctuary city. It subverted federal law in the hope that more illegal immigrants would come there. And now they may be coming. But San Francisco is upset. "Well," said the news anchors, "Trump's plan is illegal." You can't just send migrants to American cities, they're telling us. There's a process. Really? Did the people of Lewiston, Maine go through that process when an entire population of Somalis was moved from a refugee camp in Kenya to their already beleaguered city? Nope, no process. Nobody asked them. The government just did it. The same thing happened to Hazleton, Pennsylvania, and countless other places across this country. That's how it works. That's how it always works. But when you try to do the same thing to the city where Nancy Pelosi lives, it's supposedly, quote, illegal. This is getting confusing, so let's make it easier for everyone. Here's a list of neighborhoods that could use some immediate refugee resettlement. These are affluent places. They're politically liberal, as most affluent places are. As a matter of policy and conviction, they love impoverished immigrants from abroad. They just don't really have any yet. So let's change that. First in line would be Beacon Hill in Boston. That neighborhood has a median income of over $120,000 a year. For perspective, that's more than double the national average. It is strikingly not very diverse, so it would be, of course, greatly strengthened by thousands of migrants. As John Kerry, who lives in Beacon Hill, warned us 2 years ago, quote, "Fear of the outsider, fear of someone who isn't you, fear of someone who doesn't look like you, is an attack on America itself." Whoa, that's heavy. Let's stop that attack. And let's do it by sending, I don't know, half of the most recent migrant caravan to John Kerry's zip code. He will be thrilled. He'll have to be thrilled. Next, we'll head to the Upper East Side of New York. Former Mayor Michael Bloomberg still lives there. He loves poor immigrants. Unfortunately for him, virtually none of them actually live in his neighborhood. In a city where kids speak close to
I see a
200
settlement
different
area right in the
languages. Michael Bloomberg's zip code is shockingly lacking in
A few
diversity.
tents, you know?
Let's change that, shall we?
Give us
And
some
while we're
FEMA
at it, let's
trailers.
integrate them into the most famous private school.
All right. So, do you disagree with that?
I think it's funny.
It's funny, these people, and I know you don't agree with the wall. We're going to get into that right here. Good segue. But, why do these people that want to bring in immigrants, they live behind walls to keep us out? I mean, what?
Well, you know, who was that? Laura Loomer, I think, that climbed over Nancy Pelosi's wall and was demanding sandwiches at her front door. Did you see that one?
No, I did not.
I think it was Laura Loomer. I could have the person wrong, but I thought that's who it was.
Alex Jones went out to her house too.
Okay.
Well, somebody
But
from
took some illegal immigrants and climbed their wall and said, well, you got a wall at your house. Climbed the wall and was like demanding, knocking on her back door asking for sandwiches. But I thought it was kind of odd because you just demonstrated the wall didn't work. If you climbed over the wall, because she was like, she shouldn't have a wall, we're going to climb it and go and ask for sandwiches at her back door. Well,
I get your point.
yeah.
You know where I stand on the wall. Listen.
On the side of it.
Listen, yeah, I am on the side of the wall.
Right.
I'm on the right side of the wall. But listen, I'm libertarian
Yeah.
as far as the point of immigrants. I really am. If you could get rid of the welfare state,
Yeah, see,
And-
that's my problem. Is
if you can get rid of the welfare state and the subsidized schooling by the federal government, hey, by all means, bring them in legally. Here's the problem. I understand your problem. It takes too long. It takes a long time.
well, the whole process is screwed, but
It is screwed. And here's my thing, Joe, and I don't mean to cut you off,
yeah.
but we can process how many millions of tax returns in a year, but we can't get one person that's doing it the right way. The only people that these illegal aliens are hurting are the ones trying to do it the right way. Is
Oh,
how
yeah,
I feel.
yeah. But something else that's hurting the people doing it the right way is doing it the right way.
Yeah, but
It's
there's
so
always,
screwy. There's like a 900,000 case backlog. My problem with the immigration thing is that why don't we want to build a wall along the Canadian border?
because they don't want.
We don't have a problem with them. Why don't we have a problem with them? We banned drugs. We created drug cartels in Mexico and Central America, and then we shipped them tons of weapons in the
And that-
Fast and Furious thing.
that is- and
we
now
literally
people-
created dangerous drug cartels down there.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I want these people. I want everybody to understand.
Yeah.
There's no arguing against the Fast and Furious thing. That happened, guys.
Yes.
You can't say that didn't happen. Oh,
And
Joe's,
when they say-
Joe's
when they-
nuts. That never happened.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. We have so many people. I mean, where did Bill Clinton live in Arkansas? Where they were taking stuff from Panama and bringing it into Arkansas, cocaine into Arkansas.
And yeah,
Yeah.
the CIA brings stuff right in. Yeah.
That's a fact.
They're not. Why are they taking heroin? You know, all the poppies in Afghanistan. Do you think they're flying them into Mexico and handing them out to guys, putting them, heroin in their pocket, and running across the border? Why don't you just fly them into Arkansas?
Yeah. So, what Joe's saying isn't like, woo, what are you talking about? We created. No, we ship them. The liberals really want to talk about and push this gun control here in the United States. Yet we will send them fully automatic weapons, illegal weapons. regardless, that they. The
From what
problem
I
is-
understand, some of them turned up in like Afghanistan and stuff too.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Really?
yeah.
So I just wanted to point out that you're not a kook.
Right.
That you can't argue against this. This is real.
That's how what they say about no scandals in Barack Obama's presidency.
Yeah.
Eric Holder was the only
Attorney General.
Attorney General to be in contempt of court
Mhm.
or contempt of Congress, whichever it was. Only one ever,
Yep. No scandals.
because he wouldn't speak on that.
He couldn't.
No.
That's
No.
like saying put me in prison.
Yes.
You'd
rather be punished
No,
for
no.
contempt of Congress than
contempt of court. Or
okay, I did illegally send a bunch of weapons down there and arm the drug cartels.
yeah. And what for? I mean, if they're not bringing them here, if somebody's not
To
making a buck.
destabilize
Stabilize.
everything so that they would come up here.
Now NAFTA, you know, most Americans don't know what NAFTA is. I mean,
North
If-
American Free Trade Agreement.
okay. Now, if we went out on the streets, and I'm not cutting on Laporte. I think Laporte has.
Why not?
I mean, I really do. I think Laporte has great people in it. Most of America is like Laporte. I mean, we're diversified. We have Spanish people, talking people. We have, whites, blacks, everything. I mean, we had a place called Pole Town. Your family's Polish. Mine's Irish and something else. I don't know. We're mixed. We're melting pot. All right. If you go into the neighborhood and walk outside and ask somebody, hey, what's NAFTA? Tell me what NAFTA is. They ain't gonna be able to tell you what it is. Do you agree with that?
Probably right.
What about most things in politics? If I asked you what the whip was, that's a guy who whips people when they don't agree in Congress.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? One of our segments, we're going to do it shortly. We're going to put it up. We're going to go out on the street with the microphone and we're going to ask about, and that's one of my things. And we can announce it now. Joe's going to be a regular part of the program.
Or irregular.
Yeah.
But I'll be here regularly.
And our main thing is, I don't think liberals want to ruin the country. Just the normal, regular liberals that live across the street or next door. I think they genuinely care about people. I don't think they want to hurt people. I think that's why they say, oh, words is violence. Because it never feels good to be hurt by someone's words. Yeah, I believe, but that's not what free speech is.
Yeah, they didn't give you free speech so you can talk about the weather.
Yeah, and it's not the popular speech that needs protected. It's the unpopular speech that needs protected. If everybody agrees with
But,
you.
the way I see that too is that, if somebody's saying something that hurts somebody's feelings, good, let them say it, and then suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
You're running a business or something like that, you're not being harsh towards a certain group of people.
Oh, it's
That's
going to bite
gonna
you
hurt
in
your
the ass.
business.
It's
Yeah,
gonna bite you in
and
the
then
ass.
you'll go out of business. So you say, well, I'm going to pass a law that they can't say that stuff so that their customers don't leave and they are successful. No, that type of person needs to go out of business.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
It's not the color of the skin. It's contact of it's who you are, the character of you. And I don't support the Klan, but I support their right to say the garbage that they say, because you know what? Once you take away their right to speak, yours is going to be next.
Yeah.
You may not like what they have to say, but they have every right in the world to say it.
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson, all tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for men of good conscience to remain silent.
Yep. That means for bad men to win, all the good men need to stand down and do nothing.
Yeah.
And women. I'm not.
David Hume, liberty is not taken away at once. Tiny little bit, tiny little bit, tiny little bit. And it's like, it'd be a lot of trouble for me to complain about that,
Yep.
to stop them.
Yep.
And then it's too far to go back.
But hopefully we're not at that point yet. I believe we're headed there. I don't know about you. I believe we're headed to that point where
I think the pendulum has gone all the way as far as it's going that way, and people are sick of it.
I think
And
the
I'm hoping the
left is-
pendulum's going to swing back the.
I think the left has taken it just ridiculously too far.
Yeah.
But back to NAFTA. I wanted to bring up NAFTA because this is something that affected, still affects, correct? Have we
There is
gotten
no
rid-
NAFTA anymore.
There's no NAFTA anymore.
It's-
But
I
that was
forget what
signed
it's
in by
called,
that was signed in by Bill Clinton, correct?
Mm-hmm.
One of the worst deals for 3 countries ever.
And I think free trade is great, but you could put free trade. It doesn't need to be a 3,000-page document. It could be, look,
What was wrong with
we
NAFTA?
sell stuff to you without.
What was wrong with NAFTA?
I didn't read it. I'm sure there was plenty in there.
All right, here. Tabasco.
You know, a lot of stuff.
Just to bring up something like Tabasco. Tabasco sauce. I put it on my eggs. I put it on, a Bloody Mary. I'll put some in. It's cheap as dirt. We import it from Mexico. It's made in Mexico.
Tabasco is made in Avery Islands off the coast of
No.
Louisiana.
No. Tabasco is made, we can look this up.
Okay.
Tabasco is made in Mexico.
Well, it might be now, but originally
Look, Tabasco made in Mexico.
it's from the McHenry family.
Okay. But I'm telling you,
Okay.
I just watched
It might be made there now, but originally it was from the Avery
Joe
Islands.
was right. I was wrong.
My
I don't know, but here's my point. Is, okay, this lighter is made in Mexico by Mexicans. We import it into the United States, and I can buy this thing for 79 cents, okay? But then the company who bought it will export it back to Mexico and sell it where the people that made it can't afford it.
Yeah.
Them are the kind of trade deals that,
That benefit whoever wrote the trade deal.
thank you. And
And
it's screwed.
when the politicians say, well, we need to regulate insurance companies. So you go to the insurance company and say, here, could you write us a bill?
Yeah.
And that happens. You remember the Nancy Pelosi, well, we'll have to open it, no, we'll have to pass it to find out what's in it.
We're looking at tequilas because I think it's a tequila company, not
I think,
a hot
yeah.
sauce.
I was gonna say, I think all tequila's made in Mexico.
You know where the tequila come up? That's what Hillary carries in their purse all the time.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I was thinking.
Right. That carries a bottle of that. Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it, but she
Right.
does.
Yeah.
How racist was
But
that? I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Well, you hear like when she talking to a group of African Americans, it was
Oh yeah.
Southern.
I'm not nowhere's tired yet.
yeah.
And Cortez,
Like, well, you got to.
AOC.
I think this is the Southern people or whatever. It's like, well, you got to speak their language when you're in their area or something.
English?
Yeah.
Well, AOC has a new accent. I don't know if you saw that. She was just in Chicago. I believe was it Chicago? Yeah, Jesse Jackson's coalition there, Rainbow Coalition. Chicago, correct?
Yeah, Rainbow Push.
Yeah, whatever that is. I believe Junior went to jail about something.
He went to jail.
Him and his wife.
For political stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I think it had to do with his being a congressman and his campaign fund and stuff like that, misusing campaign funds and.
My son.
I don't think it had to do with Rainbow Push, but.
Okay,
I think it was his political spendings that
put it over the edge here.
Yeah.
But my son said, yeah, he's young, and he looked up at the screen. I mean, he's a teenager, but he says, he looks up, he sees Jesse Jackson in the background. AOC's talking. He goes, Dad, why is that guy always in the background of everything you see?
Yeah.
He's in my school book behind Martin Luther King. Oh yeah, that's the guy that spread Martin Luther King blood all over him, so he got more attention from the media after the assassination. But I'm not even going to go there. But just these trade deals, the government, we're always getting screwed.
Mm-hmm.
And you believe the Libertarian Party can solve that? How?
Stay out of it.
My question is,
These trade deals
you're
too.
not-
They're okay. You're going to trade. I'll let you write the deal.
Should you,
You know?
do you think it should be state by state? Intercommerce? What do you think about intercommerce within
I think
the
it
state?
should be business by business. Don't you? You believe in competition, right?
Oh, most definitely. I lose most of the time, but yeah, I believe in competition.
Right.
Sometimes it sucks.
Yeah.
But my question, Joe, is
But that's how you learn. Though.
when did failure become this bad thing? I don't know about you, but I've learned more from failing in life than I ever did from winning.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anybody can win. It's not hard to win. It's really easy to win, dude. But when I've lost, I've always come out of it learning something.
Yeah.
It may have been, damn, I shouldn't have spent the money on that.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think anything's for nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Or I wasted my time on this, or
Yeah.
It goes back to economics. I mean, socialism wants to take from you if you take the risk. Hey, if you take the risk and you lose, buddy, you're out. Nobody else, you're out. If you take the risk and you succeed, everybody
Then
else
we'll
should,
take it from you and give it to somebody else.
So everybody else benefits.
Yeah. So
In
so
socialism,
you do not take the risk.
so what's the incentive?
Right.
And that's where I believe we've been taken with the welfare state, especially in the inner cities, because it used to not make sense not to have a father in the home. Now, if you're not trying to better your life, economically, it makes no sense for some women to be single moms. Why keep the husband around? Because the government will be my husband.
Well, the other aspect of that is, and I've had tenants say, my kid's father don't live with us because they won't pay me as much.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're economically for them.
Yeah, the government is paying them to be a single, rewarding them
There's
for
no
being a single
incentive.
mother. Yeah.
There's no incentive to have a family.
Right. And there's all the incentive
that-
to not have a family.
And that comes from the Johnson administration bringing in what was that whole thing that he brought in?
The war on poverty.
Yeah, the war on poverty. There's a name. I'm showing my ignorance right here. Should have studied before we did this.
Yeah.
And that's where it started. I mean, I don't know the statistics, but it is a huge change since we became a welfare state, and the incentive of staying together went away.
Yeah.
And especially in the inner city. It's the African American population have the tightest knit families. Other, you know,
It's kind of interesting how these public policies do the opposite. You know, like I was saying before about the eating guidelines. Hey, let's tell Americans how to eat. Now we have the most obese, diabetic country in the world.
well, or you could go the opposite way.
Yeah.
And let this because Democrats are no longer Democrats. They're not liberal. And the aspect of what liberalism really was. The Libertarian Party is what liberals were
Right,
meant to
and
be.
that's why people say
what
classical liberal.
That's what Jefferson meant.
Yeah.
That's what Jefferson was an actual liberal.
Right.
Hey, we'll stay out of their business. As long as you ain't hurting me,
Yeah.
you do whatever you want. I don't give a damn what you want to do.
Yeah, I would much rather have the problems of too much liberty than not enough.
Exactly. But liberty is dangerous. Freedom is very dangerous, and I think people are afraid of that.
Yeah, I would
But
rather dangerous freedom than
well, here's my question: is in the last century, what's killed more people, freedom or government?
oh, absolutely.
Government has killed way more people. Hold on a minute, I just had a brain fart, so you're gonna have to edit this out.
I won't.
I was leading right into it, and then
You fumbled.
I did. I fumbled that motherfucker. Pick that up. They're like, what the fuck? Okay, so Libertarian Party. Let's get back to it because I'm really ignorant about the Libertarian Party. I'm not.
So am I, and I'm a member.
I'm really interested in it, and I'd like to go to a meeting. I mean, I've gone to Republican meetings. I always go.
Have you been to a Democratic meeting?
I have gone, and I took my kids to show them how to piss off a Democrat.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I went in and asked them legitimate questions, and they did exactly what you said. They yelled and screamed and basically kicked me out of their facility.
This is a place for facts.
At a fair. I mean, at a community thing.
Yeah.
At an open thing. They told me to leave. They
We're
straight
to have
up
the Democrat tent trying to convert people?
Yep. And they told me to leave because basically they didn't want facts getting in the way of their agenda.
Yeah.
Went as far as to say, because I brought up Martin Luther King, went as far to say, and I am not kidding, that Martin Luther King was a terrorist because of civil disobedience.
Oh, right.